You're already at the top of the pyramid. If you're one of the 900 or so people who will appear in a Major League Baseball game this season, you typically have better than average eyesight, reflexes, speed, and agility, and you appear to possess the famous 5 tools of peak physical performance. However, there is a sharper edge of athletes who go beyond excellence, who somehow become sublime, producing poetry of their motions and smoothly gliding above the sea of the already exceptional baseball talent that surrounds them, even at the pinnacle of the athletic performance. It's been said that the magnitude of the fight in the dog, not the size of the dog in the fight. Understanding this idea is the key to comprehending the enormous jump from being one of the greatest around to becoming one of the best ever. Before we move further, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video. Let's dive into it. Number 10. Relief pitcher Edwin Díaz, Mets. In 2022, Diaz was simply unstoppable. The hard-throwing right-hander outdid even his record-setting performance with the Mariners in 2018, when he led the majors with 57 saves and set a new single-season saves record. Last season, he pitched for the Mets and made 61 appearances. He had an incredible strikeout rate of 50.2% and a microscopic earned run average of 1.31. When Diaz came out of the bullpen, the game was already well on its way to being finished. In November of 2017, the 29-year-old reliever became the recipient of the most lucrative contract ever offered to a bullpen by the Mets, a 5-year extension worth a total of $102 million. Number 9. Right field Aaron Judge, Yankees. It will be difficult to defeat a player who, in the previous season, set an AL record with 62 home runs. After having one of the most productive offensive seasons in the history of the Major League Baseball, Judge is an obvious candidate for the position of the top right fielder in the league. After coming in the 4th place in the voting for AL MVP in 2021, Judge began the previous season at the 4th on this leaderboard. After winning his first AL MVP award and signing a 9-year, $360 million contract to remain the most productive slugger in the Bronx Bombers lineup, he enters this season as the top player in the rankings for the New York Yankees. Number 8. Center field Mike Trout, Angels. Even though Julio Rodriguez exploded onto the scene and enthralled the baseball world with his electrifying play in the center field and at the plate in the previous season, the current leader of this category is not going anywhere anytime soon. In 2022, Trout had another one of his typical seasons and posted a 999 OPS while hitting 40 home runs in just 119 games. Although injuries limited him once again, he continued to produce at an elite level whenever he was healthy. Number 7. Left field Yordan, Alvarez, Astros. What exactly do you mean when you say breakout season? How about achieving an OPS plus that is the highest of your career and more than 50 points higher than it was the previous year? In spite of the fact that he was sidelined due to a hand injury, Alvarez finished 3rd in the voting for AL Most Valuable Player. He hit 37 home runs in 135 games to help propel Houston to its 4th World Series in 6 years, which it won in 6 games against Philadelphia. His performance helped propel Houston to its 4th World Series in 6 years. During the postseason, Alvarez hit 3 home runs, one of which was the game-winning hit in Game 1 of the American League Division Series. Even though he is only entering the 26th year of his life, he is already 2 home runs away from reaching the century mark for his career. Number 6. Manny Machado of the Padres plays 3rd base. Even while we are already aware that Machado is an all-world talent at 3rd base, he ended the 2022 regular season with a great performance that catapulted him into the conversation for the National League Most Valuable Player. If you exclude the abbreviated season that he played in 2020, his 159 OPS plus in a full season is his career high. Machado's 588 slugging percentage and 13 home runs between August 9 and the end of the regular season were key factor in the San Diego's advancement to the postseason. Then, during the postseason, he hit 4 more home runs, which helped the Padres go all the way to the National League Championship Series for the first time in 24 years. Number 5. Trea Turner of the Philadelphia Phillies plays shortstop. Turner is currently ranked first overall among shortstop coming into 2023 season, just as he is getting ready to don a Phillies uniform for the first time. In spite of the fact that he got out to a sluggish start at the plate the previous year, taking 686 OPS into his 30th game of the season, he took off from there, hitting 306 and 348 and 487 with 20 home runs and 22 steals for the first Dodgers the rest of the way. He finished his career with a baseball reference WAR of 4.9, which was his greatest point total ever. Turner, who is about to begin his 30th season, might be just what the Philadelphia Phillies need to follow up a season in which they won the pennant with a season in which they win the World Series. Number 4. Second baseman for the Astros is Jose Altuve. A couple of years ago, there was a time when it was reasonable to wonder if Altuve's best years were behind him. After all, the former AL MVP had just 629 OPS in the pandemic-shortened 2020 season. But Altuve has proven that his best years are still ahead of him. But he has made a remarkable comeback, posting a 921 OPS last season, which was the highest mark he has achieved since his MVP season in 2017. The spark plug for the team that won the World Series last year is still only 32 years old, and it appears that he still has a lot of baseball left in him. Number 3. Paul Goldschmidt of the Cardinals is their first baseman. Goldschmidt finally won the National League Most Valuable Player award with a stupendous performance in 2022. Prior to that, he had finished in the top 6 of the voting for the NL MVP award 5 times. He led the league in sluggish percentage and on base plus sluggish percentage, hitting 317, 404, 578 with 35 home runs. Additionally, his 180 OPS plus was the best in the NL. When contemplating who among the many terrific first basemen in the game, including Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers, who finished 4th in MVP voting, deserves in the top slot here, you can't disagree with that kind of output. Number 2. JT Realmuto, catcher with the Philadelphia Phillies. Realmuto entered the 2022 season widely regarded as the game's best catcher. All he had to do to earn that reputation was have the best season of his career, as measured by OPS plus 129, and Baseball Reference WR that is 6.5, which was 2 full wins higher than his previous career high in both 2018 and 2019. If you add to that his part in helping the Phillies win the National League pennant, then you have yourself a very difficult act to follow if you want to be the best backstop in all the baseball. Number 1. Starting pitcher, Corbin Bernice, Brewers. Bernice had a breakout year in 2021, winning the Cy Young Award for the National League. He followed that up with another tremendous performance for Milwaukee in 2022, when he posted a 2.94 earned run average and led the league in the strikeouts with 243. As a right-handed pitcher, who had never thrown more than 167 innings in a season prior to the 22 season, there may have been some uncertainty regarding the right durability. Handers, however, the right-hander threw 202 innings in 2018, putting any such uncertainty to rest. Bernice climbed all the way to the top of the list this year, having previously only occupied the 9th slot the year before. That's all from our side. If you enjoyed today's content, let us know in the comments. Have a great day.